Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. First of all, let me welcome you all to today's presentation. The topic is Anand Kaaraj. Whenever one mentions the term Anand Kaaraj, it raises multiple of questions in one's mind, such as, is it a religious ceremony? Is it just a ritual, or does it have any meaning? What is its significance? What are some of the traditions? And many other questions. So in today's presentation, I'll try to actually answer all these questions. Let's start with some of the definitions of the words. First of all, marriage. What is marriage? It is a legally recognized relationship of two persons as husband and wife. Whereas Anand Kaaraj is a sacred union of two persons to achieve the ultimate bliss in their life. Anand Kaaraj is a combination of two terms. First one Anand, the second one is Kaaraj. Anand means ultimate bliss. Kaaraj is that social spiritual deed or function which has a purpose behind it. As an example, the courage of a watch or a clock is to give the time. If it does not provide the right time, then it is not performing its courage. It could be made out of diamonds, gold, and many other expensive items in it. But if it doesn't give you the right time, it is not performing its courage. Similarly, if a marriage where the purpose is for the two people to achieve ultimate bliss, happiness, eternal happiness, and if it does not achieve that, this means it is not performing its purpose. In Sikh marriage, the aim is to achieve that ultimate bliss. Next one is love. Love means of old relationship and getting into new one. Where lava is the plural of it. Let me explain love. When you look at it in worldly terms, what it means is you are actually swearing the relationship with the worldly attachment, and you are attaching yourself to God. And lava is the plural of that. It has two meanings. One is, it's the name of the Bani in Sri Guru Granth Sahib. On page 773, it is recited by our fourth Guru, Guru Ram Das Ji. The second meaning of Lama is circumambulating Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. In other words, walking around Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. What is its significance? It has both temporal as well as spiritual significances. First of all, it provides the legality. Secondly, it provides eternal happiness. Thirdly, It seeks an eternal, true relationship of two people in a marriage. Whereas marriage, on the other hand, only provides the legality aspect of it, which is considered false. It's a false happiness and it's a false relationship. Let me actually explain the term false. But before we do that, let's look at it. What is true? True is eternal. False is only temporary, which is opposite of it. Let's look at some of the attributes of false relationship. In false relationship, it's only deceiving. In other words, you are actually performing trades, or giving is not actually present at all. You are interested in only receiving. Similarly, love itself is conditional. Yeah, if he loves me, then I love him. If he doesn't love me, I don't love him. Faith in each other is wavering trust. It's temporary. It's not eternal. All it does is it involves selfishness, in all these relationships. Contrary to that one, in a true relationship, giving is present. The love, which is called prema, is unconditional. Faith is unwavering trust. And it's based on sacrifice. One is ready to sacrifice him or herself for the other partner. But to achieve such a state of mind, it requires hard work. Sikhs aspire to achieve true happiness, and that's why they actually go to the Anand Kaaraj. Where do we find its traditions and how this is performed? It is in Sikh Maryada, in other words, the code of conduct for the Sikhs. It's a religious code of conduct. There are a lot of unique things in it which belong to Sikh religion, but some of them are adopted from other religions also. As an example, circumambulating came from the Hindu religion. It also has some cultural aspects in it, which are mostly Indian culture, such as carrying a kirpan. Now I want you to actually scan through this list, because we are going to go into detail and cover each one of those. As an example, here are some of the traditions mentioned in here. Milni, Kirtan, Ardas, Hukum, Lama, and the singing of hymns, etc. So let's actually look at each one of them. But before we do that, I would like to mention that I have used the pictures from the marriage of Bibi Amrinder Kaur to Sardar Sandeep Singh. Bibi Amrinder Kaur is the daughter of Sardar Harpal Singh Ji and Bibi Pushpinder Kaur. The marriage of Sandeep Singh and Amrinder Kaur was the first marriage when we moved into this Gurdwara. And they all have given me permission to use this picture, and I am very thankful to them for that. Milni ceremony is an optional ceremony. If we look at its background, it used to happen whenever the marriage party arrived. It could take place at a predetermined place or wherever they are staying or at a Gurdwara. But one thing for sure, whenever you are going to actually do the Milni, Sikhs always do their ardas. As a matter of fact, ardas is done before any Kaaraj is accomplished by a Sikh. In this tradition, relatives of each side are introduced to each other. The bride side as well as the groom side. Next one is carrying Kirpan. This tradition came from Hindu religion and it does have a meaning. It's symbolic that the groom is now ready to fully accept the responsibility of taking care of his bride. And as a householder, he will protect her in every respect, just like her parents were doing it before. Kirtan. Whenever the Anand ceremony takes place, typically Kirtan is usually in progress. People from both sides, the marriage party, as well as the groom and bride side, they will come in and bow before Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji and take their place in the appropriate section of the hall and listen to the Kirtan. Similarly, when the groom arrives, he will do the same. Sitting of the groom and bride are in such a way they sit in front of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Bhai Sahib asked the groom to first come in and do the matha take and take a seat in front of Sri Guru Granth Sahib. Then he asked the bride to do the same and take a seat on the left side of the groom, facing Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Sometimes the bride may arrive after the groom has already been seated, but this tradition does not have to be followed. She could be sitting in the Sangat also listening to the Kirtan before they are ushered to sit in front of Sri Guru Granth Sahib. Next, the prayer is performed. Bhai Sahib asks the groom and the bride to stand up in front of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, as well as parents of both bride and the groom. And this prayer is to obtain the divine blessing, to receive the permission to proceed with the marriage ceremony. Here we are showing the parents of both the bride and the groom are standing in their place facing Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Following that, Hukamnama is taken from Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Then, the tradition of Sikhya follows. Sikhya can be given by anybody. Bhai Sahib, the singing jata, or any elder from either side. But important thing is to make sure whoever is giving the Sikhya, he delineates the important facets of their new life together, such as life together calls for understanding and adjustments. It involves sacrifice, personal sacrifice of comfort and convenience. The happiness lies in giving, not in receiving. Using sweet words when talking to each other. Humility and forgiveness are the foremost. If one does something which is not approved by the society or the religion, then there is a religious censor against that person. Sharing life together requires the respect and love for each other's parents. And the most important is to make sure they understand, always keeping in touch with Guruji. Now from now on, they are going to be receiving the wisdom from Guru to tread on the path of good householders. And then a brief explanation of the Lama and the process that's going to be followed to accomplish the Anandakari ceremony. Most of the time, everyone quotes this particular stanza from Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Tan pere na akhin bain ikathe hoye, ek jot toye murti, tan par kaye soye. In other words, the true marriage is the union of two souls within two bodies, working in unison for mutual fulfillment spiritually, as well as performing all of their duties. As soon as the Sikhya is concluded, both groom and bride matha takes. They bow in front of Sri Guru Granth Sahib, which signifies their acknowledgement of the Sikhya. Next is the Palla handing over ceremony by the bride's father It signifies that the parents of the bride approve this marriage of their daughter, and they have developed the trust in him that he will take care of their daughter and protect her in every which way, just like her father was doing it before, or the parents were doing it. So the father of the bride put the apron on the shoulder of the groom and gives them one end to hold, and the other end of the apron is actually given to the bride to hold on throughout this Lama ceremony. At this particular time, the Ragi sings the following verse. Ustanandya Naraki Mehab Vanchai Chodya Hab Kijityagi Hab Sak Kudavidite Topalete De Lagi. The process of Lama is as follows. Certain rules will be followed. No one should stand between the couple and Guruji, or else there will be circumambulating. When taking Lama, both will observe specific protocols, such as matha take, standing, circumambulating, etc. As soon as they are ready for the Lama, the first Lama will be recited by Paisa, and both will attentively listen. And then matha take, stand up, and then the Ragi Singhs will start singing the first Lama while the couple will start circumambulating Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. This process of first Lama will be repeated for all four Lama ceremony. When Paisa will complete the recitation of first Lama, while the groom and the bride listen attentively, that picture is shown in this particular picture. So what it means is the instruction from the Guruji, first instruction, saying that how they are going to live their life together from now on. Then both will matha take, which signifies that they have acknowledged that particular instruction. As soon as they stand up, while Paisa actually covers Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji with the Rumala, the Ragi Singh will start singing the Lama. They are standing here, signifying that they are ready to actually follow the instruction. And they will actually start circumambulating Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. They will walk around Sri Guru Granth Sahib at a very slow pace. This signifies that from now on, Guruji will become the focus of their life. In other words, the axis of their life is Guruji's teaching. When they are walking around Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the groom will be in front and the bride will be behind him. This is another picture where they are actually completing the whole circle around Sri Guru Granth Sahib. Another picture. And here they have completed the circle and came to their original place where they were standing. And now they will actually stand there on the singing of the first line is finished. Then they will take Matha Tek and both will sit down in their original seats. Once they actually take their seat, the process of the first lam will be repeated for the remaining 3 lams. Now actually let's look at the gist of the lama. In the first lam, Guruji instructing both to remember God as they are starting the new life as the householders. This should become their habit and a daily chore. In the second lam, with God's mercy, both souls individually meet Guruji. Meeting Guruji is not simply to go to the Gurdwara or reciting from Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Meeting Guru means now they will be bringing all the teachings of the Gurujis into their practical life. Everything they do will be in accordance with Guruji's teaching. This is very hard effort. But once you achieve it, Guruji is pleased with you and you develop unconditional love for Guruji as with our God. In the third lam, now you have developed so much love for God that your yearning for meeting Him is paramount. You cannot live without having a glimpse of Him. So you are praying to Guru and God to actually meet or have a glimpse of Vaheguru. In the fourth lam, Guruji is pleased with you and He has mercy on you, and Guruji provides you that union you've been seeking for, and you unite with God. After Lama, there are certain hymns sung by the Ragis. This is when everybody in the mood of Thanksgiving, and at the same time everybody is immensely satisfied and happy. So on behalf of the brides, there are certain shouts, and you don't have to read all 3 of them, which I mentioned up here or more. Then they will vary from one ceremony to another ceremony. After that, there is another set of shouts, actually sung by the Ragis, which actually indicates the congratulations from the Sangat, as well as it portrays the happiness of the couple when they are showered with the blessings of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So again, the number of selection of shouts may vary for each Anand Kaaraj ceremony. Following that, The Ragis then sing the 6 stanzas of Anand, which is a tradition. But whenever you have a congregation, you actually conclude it with singing those stanzas. Following that, a dance is performed, hukamnama is taken, and prasad, sweet pudding, is distributed. Last but not the least is the serving of langar, where everybody sits in the rows and the langar is served without any regard to caste, religion, social status, race, sex, etc. This is the cornerstone and the pride of Sikhi. This is where true human equality is in practice. Lastly, I would actually like to summarize the Anand Kaaraj ceremony. It is the sacred union of a couple living together and achieving everlasting happiness in their marriage. It is performed in the presence of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. It must be performed with the utmost reverence, humility, deep sincerity, and firm commitment. And all of the traditions that are followed in Anand Kaaraj are endorsed by the Guruji during their times. This is why, yes, it is a ritual, but it's a meaningful ritual. This concludes my presentation. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.